Part 3, The Unveiling of the Blues, a Season for Development. It is not possible to venture into the world of the blues without a focus on Christianity. After the period of slavery, the blues originated in the Mississippi Delta, sharing the hard life of sharecroppers. The vast majority of these communities were Christian, as expressed in their music. Their language was distinct, as were the characteristics of broken English, which were reflected in their lifestyle, which are shared in their music. It is the foundation and substance used in creation of the blues. Undoubtedly, the path taken by the blues had a defining role in establishment of our duties and the future of the nation delivered through its application of music, which was loved by all, including many white descendants. Yet, the blues is a product of the black man, his creative energy taken from an environment created through the restraints of white America, avoiding the sounds, dodging the tears, eluding the agony and ignoring the grief of their actions, being the creator of these environmental and physical difficulties, in which the slaves endured, even though the animals had a better living environment than a slave living on a plantation of the South. Regardless of the appreciation the white masters had for the music, they would never yield below their standards with gestures of approval, improving living conditions of their tenants. Although they should realize and acknowledge their enjoyment and pleasure predicated on nurturing an environment where this culture would grow, maintaining itself through dilapidation, decay and disrepair. This music was the personification of these same people, indoctrinating this musical expression in garnering a total expansion of Black America's understanding the living experience of the exposure and experiences of being black in America, as the blues is a musical encounter of survival and existence in painting a portrait of America through this music. The blues has the ability of transforming the human emotions into stanza of diatonic and pentatonic scales with several key, blue notes thrown in, creating a sound capturing the sharecroppers and descendants of the Mississippi Delta. In order to have a true excursion from the music, there must be a connection or nexus made in order to capture the essence of what the blues is transmitting. For me, as a teenager, this was overlooked and disabled in discerning the connection between the blues and living the life of an African American. I hated the blues. I despised its foundation and its representation of the dark days of slavery. It was not until much later that I could fully appreciate jazz and the blues, hearing and understanding the content of the music and identification and indulgence of interpretation, the language, perception and content through comprehension and recognition of the message delivered by of its intentions. It always reminded me of a place draped in cruelty, masking my participation as a slave. These events would take me back to a time and place I detested, of men seeking approval, consent and authorization from the hands who stole your dreams, lacking remorse for their participation. I refuse to be a participant or applicant nor share in any endorsement supplementing these actions of debauchery and depravity. I realized there are many paths available for potential success or failure. I chose my own course. A defined path of my creation leading to absolute realization for achievement, enhancing a thrilling, twisting, and consolidating state of affairs. The blues is a powerful force to deter and reconcile. These feelings were dynamic and influential, but I moved on to other things. However, in seeking and hearing the entire content capturing the essence and spirit of the blues, one must adapt, listen, and becoming attentive to all the nuances and subtlety, as a black audience, if only for a moment, in fully appreciating the entire concept and perception of the black experience, in truly hearing the heart of the blues. Once this occurs, How can you continue on being the same person cognizant of the people and their occurrence of subjugation and suppression, having an awareness of this life without considering for the injustices and inequalities being endured just by listening to the blues? The blues demands reaction and transformation. This is the connection that God intended by giving us the blues, in an expression for all and engaging the love, hate and passion of life by interacting, absorbing and participating in an expression for all in hearing, possessing and indulging experience in the blues. From the oppression of slavery, he presented the blues. A true measure of the pain and horrors of living and surviving the antebellum South. In addressing this belief in season of restitution, the following is offered. We must remember, all lives are not created equal. All lives do not appear the same from the outside looking in. The quality of life is not measured by the amount of money in wallet or his financial well-being. While there may be infinite beauty in the homes of your fortune or the vehicles in those driveways, including your vacation choices with vacation homes, yet it is all finite, possessing an end date. A poor man's may live his life penniless, living from day to day or minuscule provisions and pay. But he enjoys a happiness surrounding him wherever his journey takes him, never worried about a thing. God is looking for men, not necessarily men with a perfect agenda, but, rather, a man making an offer of taking me as I am with all the faults, liabilities and mistakes compounded in a life. All Jesus requires is your acknowledgement that someone has sacrificed his body for your soul and offers everlasting life in its place. There are only two places or choice available, one providing complete love and happiness, forever. Your financial gains in this life will have no bearing on the next life. If you are rich in this life, it might be harder to qualify for the next life. There are no rewards in this life for those ethnicities enduring discrimination, intolerance, or disparages. Our path has been filled with obstacles and hindrances, but we will endure. The blues was a creation of the black experience outlined in adversity, pain and ignorance of a new ethnicity in a country not displaying nor concerns for their consideration for their experiences, propelled in an environment of pain, suffering, sweat and tears, all in the pursuit of happiness of another being. This understanding will allow the fully completion of our brother in knowing they are truly brothers wedged in this experience called life without the comprehension of its intent and destiny.